We're Southern Strings from Hattiesburg, Mississippi, and we're so glad to be back with you. And we've got a special program, especially for everyone that's here today. It's going to be a speaking program and a playing program. This year marks the 150th anniversary of the end of the American Civil War in 1865. Actually, Tanny Hill Ironworks Historical State Park is the site of one of the last raids of the war, which was led by Union General James H. Wilson. Wilson's objective was to burn every Alabama furnace that provided much-needed pig iron for the Confederate military. On this very site, in March the 31st, 1865, Wilson's raid took place, resulting in death and destruction on both sides. As we commemorate the 150th anniversary of the war between the states, we would like to present to you a program of Civil War music and songs that helped carry the soldiers through those 4 years of hardship. If I close my eyes, I can actually visualize this beautiful park back in 1865 with Confederate soldiers encamped around the ironworks in protection from Union troops. With war raging in most areas of the South, these soldiers were homesick, many having been away from home for almost 4 years. The only entertainment other than gambling and playing cards was music. Some soldiers brought along had even constructed crude instruments to while away the hours of waiting. I'm sure some of the soldiers that were from the Appalachian Mountains had dulcimers as they played along to popular songs of that era. The songs of the North and the South intertwined with music of bravery, daily life, and love of home. The very first flag of the Confederacy was a single white star on a blue-black background. Next to Dixie, perhaps no other song was as well loved by the Confederate soldier as the Bonnie Blue Flag, written by Harry McCarty. This song was an instant hit after McCarty premiered it during a concert in Jackson, Mississippi in the spring of 1861. Bonnie Blue Flag.
We are a band of brothers and native to the soul, fighting for the property we gave by honest toil. And when our rights were dead and the cry was near and far, hurrah for the burning flag that bears a single star. Hurrah, hurrah, for Southern rights to run. Hurrah for the burning flag that bears a single star. As long as the Union's faithful was faithful to a trust, like friends and like brothers, both kindly and just. But now a golden treasury attempts our rights to mar. We hoist behind the blue flag that bears a single star. Hurrah, hurrah, for Southern rights to run. Hurrah for the blue flag that bears a single star. Against our Confederacy, strong are we and brave, like patriots of all the final heritage to save. And rather than submit to shame, did I would prepare. So cheer for the vibrant flag that bears a single star. Hurrah, hurrah, for Southern rights hurrah. Hurrah for the vibrant flag that bears a single star.
Another battle song that took on popularity was the Battle Cry of Freedom, written in 1862 by American composer George Frederick Root. It was written to advocate the cause of the Union, but became so popular that lyrics were written to adapt it to the Confederacy. Sing along as we play the Battle Cry of Freedom.
Our flag is proudly floating on the land and on the main. Shout, shout the battle cry of freedom. Beneath the rock we conquer and we'll conquer up again. Shout, shout the battle cry of freedom. Our dreams seen forever, she's never at a loss. Down with the eagle and up with the cross. We'll rally round the Bonnie flag, we'll rally once again. Shout, shout the battle cry of freedom. Our gallant boys have marched to the rolling of the drum. Shout, shout the battle cry of freedom. the battle cry of freedom. Our Dixie forever, she's never at a loss. Down with the eagle and up with the cross. We'll rail on the Bonnie flag, will rail once again. Shout, shout the battle cry of freedom. While our boys have responded and to the fields have gone. Shout, shout the battle cry of freedom. Our noble hearts who have aided them at home. Shout, shout the battle cry of freedom. Our Dixie forever, she's never at a loss. Down with the eagle and up with the cross. We'll rail on the Bonnie flag, we'll rail once again. Shout, shout the battle cry of freedom.
Not all songs during the war were of patriotic form. Many soldiers, both North and South, were tired, hungry, and especially homesick. Sitting around the campfire, particularly at night, reminded the soldiers of the things they missed: home, loved ones, and friends. Wartime composers penned many songs of the era whose lyrics brought tears to those lonely men. One such song was "When You and I Were Young, Maggie," written by George W. Johnson in 1864.
I wander to the hill, Maggie, to watch the sea below. The creek and the creaky old mill, Maggie, has seen long ago. Let us sing of the days that are gone, Maggie, when you and I were young. They say that our feeble with age, Maggie, our steps are less frightened than then. My face is a well-written page, Maggie, and time alone was a gift.
In pre-Civil War years, Jefferson Davis, who would become the President of the Confederacy, met and married young Sarah Knox Taylor, the daughter of Zachary Taylor, who himself became the 12th President of the United States. Sarah and Jefferson married in 1835, and while still on their honeymoon visiting her sister in Louisiana, they both contracted malaria. For days, the lives of both Sarah and Jefferson were in serious jeopardy. Family tradition relates that Jefferson emerged from his delirium to hear his beloved Sarah singing "Fairy Bells," a favorite song of theirs. Rising from his sickbed, he struggled towards his new bride and reached her side only in time to witness her death. Sarah Knox Taylor Davis died September 15, 1835. She was only 21 years of age and had only been Mrs. Jefferson Davis for 3 months. Fairy Bell remained Davis's favorite song throughout his life and served to soothe his soul during the war between the states. It was often played at Confederate presidential events and remains a favorite of the Davis family today. Fairy Belle was written by Stephen Foster in 1835.
The pride of the village and the fairest of the dell is the queen of my song, and her name is Fairy Belle. The sound of her light step may be heard upon the hill, like the fall of the snowdrop or the dripping of the rill. Fairy Belle, gentle Fairy Belle, the star of the night and the lily of the day. Fairy Belle, the queen of all the dell, long may she revel on her bright sunny way. Her soft notes of melody around me sweetly fall. Her eye full of love is now beaming on my soul. The sound of that gentle voice, the glance of that eye, surround me with rapture that no other heart could sigh. Fairy Belle, gentle Fairy Belle, the star of the night and the lily of the day. Fairy Belle, the queen of all the dell, long may she revel on the bright sunny way.
One of the hardships of the war, especially for the South, was dealing with hunger. The longer the war lasted, the hungrier the Confederates became. Near the end of the war, soldiers were starving, and some had even resorted to eating anything that moved, including rats, as was the case in the Battle of Vicksburg. To help with these hunger pains, soldiers often sang songs about food. They took one popular song of the day, "Hard Times Come Again No More," and they changed its lyrics to voice their protest to their mundane daily menu. They called their new interpretation, "Hard Tack, Come Again No More." This helped to add a little distraction from their having to eat hardtack 2 times daily. While many songs were about food, one of their favorite was to sing "Goober Peas." This delightful Confederate song has a simplicity of rhyme that will let your mind forget the orders, the dust, and the blistered feet as they march through the countryside. Sing along as we play these 2 songs, and please enjoy our sampling of Goober Peas.
Let us close our gable pocket, take our tin cups in hand, as we all stand by the cook's door. As dead mummies on the crackers are handed to each man, oh, hard time, come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the hungry. Hold tight, come again no more. Many days you have lived out, all for your stubborn soul. Oh, hard time, come home no more. Here's a hungry, thirsty soldier who wears his life away in foreign clothes. His better days are o'er, and he sighed out for whiskey in a voice as dry as hay. Oh, hard time, come again no more. 'Tis the song, the sigh of the hungry. Dark, hard time, come again no more. Many days you have lingered upon our stomachs sore. Oh, hard time, come again no more. murmured, there comes a sudden hush as welcomes a faint by the door. For they feast now on horsemen that all the cooks go hush. Oh, hard time, come again no more. It's a song, the sign of the heartbeat. Dark hard time, come again no more. Many days you have lingered aboard our stomach sore. Oh, hard time, come again no more. Roadside on a summer day, chatting with my messmates, passing time away. Lying in the straw underneath the tree, goodness how delicious, eating with the bees. Bees, 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 eating with the bees. Goodness how delicious, eating with the bees. When a horseman passes, the soldiers have a rule to cry out the loudest, Mister, where's your moon? Another custom, changing early leaves, is wearing out the grinders, eating goober bees. Bees, 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 eating goober bees. Goodness how delicious, eating goober bees. I think my song has lasted just about enough. The subject's interesting, but the rhymes are mighty rough. I wish the war was over, so free from rags and fleas. But kiss our eyes and sweethearts and gobble goober peas. Bees, 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 eating goober peas. Goodness how delicious, eating goober peas.
The American Civil War marked the last real spiritual revival experienced on American soil. While the war raged on for 4 long years, soldiers and their families faced hardships they could never have imagined. The conditions they faced each day led many to seek a higher power for his protection and guidance. History shows that the Confederate soldiers turned to God in an unprecedented number. The South was fortunate to have several military leaders that were godly men, such as General Robert E. Lee and Stonewall Jackson. Chaplains were in great demand during this time in our history, and it is believed that because of the great revival in the South, that it is today considered the Bible Belt of our great nation. How Firm a Foundation was a favorite hymn of Robert E. Lee. He requested it be played at his funeral.
How firm our foundation, he stands of the Lord. He is laid for your faith. In his absent word, what more can he say than to you he has said, to you for refuge to Jesus has led. Fear not, I am with thee, oh be not dismayed, for I am thy God, and will still give thee aid. I'll strengthen thee, help thee, and cause thee to stand, upheld by my righteous, omnipotent hand. The
We're running out of time, so we're going to hurry through this real quick. Last but not least, we cannot end this program without playing of our Southern national, or the Southern anthem, Dixie. I bet you didn't know that it was a favorite of even President Abraham Lincoln. He had it played at some of his political rallies and at the announcement of Robert E. Lee's surrender. We play it today as part of our Southern heritage and culture, and to honor the men who fought and shed blood on these very grounds. Dixie.
Oh, I wish I were in the land of cotton. Oh, times there are not forgotten. Look away, look look away, Dixieland. In Dixieland where I was born, early on one frosty morn, look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. The land of Johnny, gold and there and night. But Johnny, look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. In Dixieland where I was born, early on my thoughts we want to look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. Then I wish I was in Dixie, hooray. I'll take my stand to live and die in Dixie. Away, away, away down south in Dixie. Away, away, away down south in Dixie.
Thank you very much.
Back at 1 o'clock after lunch.
I got to that. That is why I picked it up. I said, I played it.
I'll go over to jail.